Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name remains Sarafina Napoleon, and this is a channel where we get to talk about everything studying and living in America. If you're joining us for the first time, please do not forget to click the subscribe button. And for those who's been here before, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you for subscribing, liking, and sharing our videos. On today's edition, I'll be sharing a copy of my statement of purpose and CV which I use during my application process. So if you know you've been struggling to put together your CV and your statement of purpose, please come with me to my computer while I show you everything. Welcome to my computer. As you can see on the screen, I have a copy of one of the statement of purpose that I used during my application process sometime last year. And as you can see on my screen, you see statement of purpose MS in sports management. If you look at the first paragraph, I said, I was born and raised in a society that believes women have little or no business in sports, whether as an administrator or as a sports journalist. I intend to change these notions, which led to the start of my journey as a sport broadcaster. So, why did I use this line? I chose this particular line because it's more of my story. As a sport journalist, as a sport broadcaster, I find myself in a male dominated industry. Not many times you get to see women go into sports and the rest. So when you see women go into sports, whether as an administrator, as a journalist, you have to put in double shifts just to get to the top. And most times people tend to look you in a condescending manner because they feel like you should not be doing sport. This is not a woman's thing, it's a man's thing at the end of the day. So I wanted a line that would captivate whoever is going to read my statement of purpose, which was why I said I was born and raised in a society that believes women have little or no business in sports, whether as an administrator or as a sports journalist. It is my own story. Your statement of purpose is all about you telling your story, owning up to whatever has happened to you and how your story has been able to impact in your life and why you want to take the next step. So after the first line, so I went on to say I intend to change these notions, which led to the start of my journey as a sport broadcaster. Still my own story. This is what I wanted to change, so I decided to go into sports as a sport broadcaster. And after that, I went into the next line to say I would like to take the next step in my career by deepening my knowledge and skills in a master's program. I discovered the subject material covered will best suit my career goals. I needed to be specific. So when you say career goals, what are you talking about? That was why I went on to say that is becoming a director of sports programs with proficiency in athletics, management, and administration, and a strong focus on developing women's sports. So it is important for you to state your career goals. So when you say your career goals, it might appear vague. So there is need for you to narrow down your career goals, which was what I did by saying becoming a director of sports programs with proficiency in athletics management and administration, with a strong focus in athletics management and administration. And also went on to talk about my passion for developing women's sports. You understand? So these are what I did in the first paragraph. Your SOP's first paragraph should be about you wanting to captivate who's ever going to read it, because whatever you say in that first paragraph is going to determine whether they will go on to complete the entire write-up or whether they would not go ahead. And also, if you look at this, I did not put my name. There was no need of me putting my name to say my name is this, that, I'm from Nigeria or I'm from Africa. No, there was no need for that, because when they open your application, they already know where you're from because you submitted your CV and the rest. And after that first paragraph, I went into the next paragraph where I talked about how my journey as a sports journalist has been so far. I said I have immersed myself fully in the world of sports in every aspect. I went on to talk about my experience so far, what I've been able to do. From there, I went on to say that my skills span from the traditional journalistic field to administrative and public relations duties. I first honed them by studying blah blah blah. So this was what I did basically. So the first paragraph should be how you're going to capture whoever is going to read it, selling yourself, talk about how your story, how your journey has affected you and why you want to um, take the next step in your graduate studies. Now, after the second paragraph, the next paragraph I went into was where I talked about the places I have worked. So the first paragraph was my story. The second paragraph was how my journey has started, what the kind of experiences I have gathered, the kind of skills I have gathered over the years. Then the third paragraph was where I went into detailed breakdown of my work experience. When you're talking about the places you've worked, it is important for you to also talk about what you did and in what capacity. From there, I went to the next paragraph where I talked about the next job I went into, also talked about what I did, and from there, I went into my most recent organization where I was working before I made the move to the United States. So, as you can see, this is what my SOP looked like. It is a time for you to sell yourself. You see those skills you have, what you've been able to do, the kind of experiences you've been exposed to during doing your current job. You need to put it in your statement of purpose. So from there, I went on and said, my experiences thus far have allowed me to become a versatile sports professional, and I would love to deepen my skills and keep growing by learning more about sports management through a master's program dedicated to the field. I strongly believe that studying at, put the name of the university, would allow me to gain a handful of knowledge and experience needed to succeed in the fast-growing sports industry. I also went on to rope my background, where I'm coming from, and why it is important I get the master's. That was where I said my unique experience as a female sports broadcast journalist from a developing country means I bring a fresh perspective on how sports broadcasting plays a role in influencing young girls and women thinking of going into sports. Remember earlier in my first paragraph, I mentioned that I have a strong passion for developing women's sports. So I had to also mention that again in the statement of purpose when I said, bring a fresh perspective on how sports broadcasting plays a role in influencing young girls and women thinking of going into sports. I now had to do something else. So sometime last year, was it last year? Yeah, sometime last year, I organized a sports event for girls. It was a 2-day event for young girls, secondary school girls. Those were my target audience. So it was more about bringing them, getting them involved in sports. So I had to inculcate that into my statement of purpose. I had to rope in the fact that I conducted a sports event, and this sports event was more about women and young girls. So it was also another of my selling points. So you need to bring those your strong points, those your selling points that you know that when you say it, someone will want to listen to you. You need to put them in your statement of purpose. And I also went on to say I am applying to a program in the US to learn more about the global sports industry and help build cross-border relationships with other candidates from diverse cultures, because the US is like a place where you go to, you get to meet people from diverse cultures, different backgrounds. So I had to also mention that in my statement of purpose. So my last paragraph, I said, flowing from the above, I am therefore certain that the knowledge and skills gathered from my professional experience, university, and extracurriculum activities would make me stand out at, mention the name of the university. And I also said, I am a self-motivated person with the ability to persevere without necessarily needing encouragement from others. I look forward to studying and acquiring more academic knowledge in sports management. So your last paragraph should be like your conclusion, where you let them know that you have what it takes for you to succeed, to stand out in the program if given an opportunity at the university. So guys, this is what my statement of purpose looked like. One of them, I had like different ones. So this is the one I used for Western Illinois University. Let me quickly show you a copy of the CV I used as well. So the CV I used during my application process It was just basic. So for the picture part, I had to use a picture because I am in the media industry, so it's optional. But as a media person, I just chose to go with a picture. You can actually take out your picture. You want to put your picture, it's fine, but it's just a personal thing. I had to put sport broadcast journalist at the bottom for them to know that, yeah, this person is into sports. The next thing I did was the professional experience, mention the places I have worked. As you can see, sport broadcaster, Nigeria Info, and the rest, what I did at the organization, basically. So this is it. Then, if you look at the left part of it, you will see that here I had like, let me quickly go up. So here I had contact me. There was no need for phone number because nobody's going to call you on the phone, but it is important for you to add your email address, which was what I added in this place. Then my skills summary, what I am good at: project management, relationship development, Adobe Audition, MS Word, sports event planning and execution, public relations, and sport marketing. So I had to highlight my skills summary. So whatever skills you have, this is where you put them. Yeah. Then after that, I went to my educational history. So if you have like 3 degrees, you have to mention them. You have to start with the most recent. I used Delta State Polytechnic of Washipu, my HND, as the most recent because at the time of my application, I was still running my postgraduate at National Open University. I wasn't done, so there was no need putting that putting that on this CV at the time of application. So you have to start with your most recent degree, I would advise. So guys, this was what I did. So how did I put the CV together? There are different ways you can put your CV together. You could use Canva. This is Canva. You just go to canva.com, and you see different things. So this was how I created my CV. I would advise for those who really don't know how to go about it, Canva is also another good way that you can go about it. So this is what it looks like, canva.com. So on canva.com, they already have templates for you that you could just click on, edit, input your details, and you should be good. Another way you could create your CV is using resume builder. So this is my most recent CV that I created sometime last week. You're free to use this. Look at the name again, resume builder. Yeah, it's free. You're not paying for anything. You could use resume builder to create your CV. I would also add, but those skills, those things that you know that they are related to what you're going for, put it in your CV. Be proud of yourself. It makes it rich at the end of the day. So guys, this is a copy of my CV, and this is a copy of my statement of purpose. Good luck, guys. Make sure to watch, share, like, subscribe, and leave your comments. If you have any question, bye.